So that's really my overall plan right now, just a very general plan for Bitcoin. This news that we just saw is honestly extremely good news. Now, this is actually a sign that Bitcoin is about to enter a bubble. Now, in many of my past videos, I discussed that a Bitcoin ETF is likely a top signal. But as I explained in those previous videos, it's not that when the ETF gets released, that's the top. That is absolutely not what I said in the past, and it's not what I'm saying now. What I'm saying is that when the ETF gets launched, expect a bubble, right? A bubble zone, meaning that, let's say the ETF gets launched tomorrow, right? Just theoretically. That everything that happens above that zone is just a bubble, and we will come back to the launch point. That's what I mean. Right? So as I was saying before, if you don't take profits on this next breakout, right, over the next many months, you're likely not going to make any money. We're probably going to come right back to where we are now or lower in the next bear market. So everything above 65,000 should be considered a caution zone, a money-making zone, and a bubble zone that we will likely come below. We will actually likely go below this area in the bear market. In just a matter of minutes, the price of Bitcoin went from nearly 57,000 all the way up to 59,000. But what's happening here on the 1 minute chart is nothing compared to the news that we just got. This article from Bloomberg, released just about 30 minutes ago, says that they will not pose any opposition at the deadline for the Bitcoin futures ETF. And just after this was released, we saw a major pump for the price of Bitcoin. And even as I'm making this video, we are pumping to new highs. These are actually the highest prices we've seen for Bitcoin since when? Since actually all the way back here in May 9th, that previous top before we dumped. And if we just take out our measuring tool, this means that Bitcoin's price is currently only less than 10% away from a new all-time high. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very confident to say that all-time highs are imminent for the price of Bitcoin. So at this point, I do think honestly that it's time to prepare for the inevitable. It's time to prepare for new all-time highs and a new paradigm for this market. Now, at the same time, even though I'm very excited for this, even though I'm very bullish, we should stay level-headed and realistic here. We actually, at this point, now that we're nearly about to break the all-time high level, we need to prepare for profit taking. So I think it's important that right now we figure out a profit taking plan. Now, I already have my target set. I already know what I want to do, how I want to get into this market, when, how much I'm going to sell at what price. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. And so at this point, I think it's very important for us to figure out profit taking zones. We need to prepare well in advance. Where are we going to exit this market? Because very likely, what we're seeing right now, where we're entering in this cycle is actually the bubble zone. The bubble zone, the final mania phase, which means that if you don't sell into this next pump, you're likely not going to make any money, and we will probably return to the prices that we're at right now in the bear market. So it's important to create a plan. It's important to get your profits when you need to take them. So what we can do, the way that professional traders calculate where they're going to take profits is they use the Fibonacci extension tool. So if we take from our 65K peak to that 28.8K low point, now we can see where other professional traders are going to be planning to exit. And our first upside target is coming in at the 1618 at 87,000. Now, this 1618 is usually a medium-term target. This is not a end of cycle target. The first Fibonacci target here, the 1618 at 87,000, should be considered a medium-term target. Now, the 2618 is coming in just around 124,000, and that is my first area of interest in this market. And I do think that most likely, if we do get to that point, I'm going to be looking to sell possibly around 25% of my position for Bitcoin, right? And the reason I would do that is just to lock in profits, just to make sure that all the effort that I put in to the past many years of accumulating Bitcoin pays off somehow, no matter what happens moving forward, right? Taking 25% at 24,000 for me personally, not financial advice, is just a form of security to make sure that I pay myself in some way. In yesterday's YouTube video, we discussed a major upside target, the $350,000 2618 log scale fib target, which I think is actually possible. It's a possibility, though I'm not gonna bank on this. I'm not gonna bank on this happening. So my number one area of interest for profit taking in this bull cycle is actually going to be at 180,000. The 4236 Fibonacci extension at 180,000. I think that overall, this is just the best, most well-rounded place to be taking profits, because most people, most analysts in this market, they're either predicting somewhere below 200K or somewhere above 200K. And I think 180K at the 4236 fib is going to be an area that a lot of traders are actually going to be taking profits. And even if we do go above that, I don't really care. That's fine, because I will keep at least 25% of my positions for possibly a $300,000 target, which actually does land at the top of this long-term channel. 300,000 is about right here, 350,000 as discussed yesterday. So just to recap, 25% profits at 124,000, just in case, 50% profits at 180,000, and then I will keep 25% of my position in case we go ballistic, in case we actually do go way above this heart line of the channel into this zone and possibly up towards that 2618 fib extension target on the log scale fibs from the 20K peak to $3,100 low. 350,000 is actually that target, right? So 124K, 180K, and then keeping 25% in case we hit that major $350,000 target, right? Just in case we go ballistic, I'll keep 25% and then sell it somewhere up there. So that's really my overall plan right now. Just a very general plan for Bitcoin. This news that we just saw is honestly extremely good news. Now, this is actually a sign that Bitcoin is about to enter a bubble, right? So as I was saying before, if you don't take profits on this next breakout, right, over the next many months, you're likely not going to make any money. We're probably going to come right back to where we are now or lower in the next bear market. So everything above 65,000 should be considered a caution zone, a money-making zone, and a bubble zone that we will likely come below. We will actually likely go below this area in the bear market, right? So everything that we see above 65K should be an area where you're highly considering exiting this market, and you should be creating realistic targets, right? Don't get ahead, don't get too hype, don't get too hype about this, right? Create realistic targets, 124K, 180K, and if you want to be really bullish, okay, 350,000, 200,000, that kind of stuff, right? But just make sure that whatever happens above 65,000 is a life-changing event for you, and you're gonna be taking profits, right? Does that make sense? All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.